This is the Violent Professional Podcast brought to you by AriesClothing.com.
That was quite an experience. Mount Hood, we got there. We all left, I think, around like noon or something. So yeah, noon from my house.
Yeah.
Made it down there. It was like 3:30 when we started around there.
Who all went on that?
It was myself, Dan, Canfield, Will, Colby, and TJ. So there's 6 of us. I think that was 6 people. Yeah.
It's not. I mean, you guys are usually like 4.
Yeah. It was good. It was a good sized group. Buddy system all the way. That's the way it's supposed to go. But basically, we got all geared up, ready to go. We started at the bottom of the ski lift from where we parked the cars and stuff, and we started hoofing it. Man, it was quite a trek. Hauling gear up that high is tough, So
Yeah.
it takes us about 3.5-4 hours to get just above Palmer ski lift, which is pretty high up there. Nobody walks that, you know what I mean? They all take the ski lift.
Yeah. So the snow is all
snow. The
fucking
snow was
post-holing and shit.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was tough to, it was tough snow. It was iced out, so it was easy to walk on.
Yeah. Okay.
We didn't have to put crampons, which was good. So it dug in just enough that we could put some footholds in. But we were able to walk.
Yeah,
so
you're not sliding back.
Not sliding back. Not sinking. Not slipping, which was good. So it wasn't like Rainier at the beginning or Adams when we summited. So we get to the top of this Palmer ski lift. We took a whole lot of breaks on the way up because we're hauling snowboards and tents and all kinds of crap.
Oh, you're planning on fucking snowboarding
Well, there
down?
were 2 of the guys. So Dan brought a snowboard and Colby brought a snowboard. So like, yeah, we're going to snowboard down. Fuck you guys. We're just going to,
I mean, that'd be an awesome video.
Oh, yeah.
Dan.
Yeah. There you go. So
Is it true
instead of
he's
the
not doing
Glissade-
it? He's not doing any more sliding
No,
Glissade
he's
videos?
just fucking
fucking
with
around?
you. He's just fucking with you. So we get to the top of Palmer ski lift, and Daniel's sucking wind the whole time. His shins are bugging him. He's carrying a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? It's heavy gear. So we get up there, and we're
because you guys need like good tents and
yeah,
shit,
we
right?
need
They're heavy,
some super
right?
good tents. So what's funny about the tent we brought, this goddamn 6-person tent that we brought,
You guys
it's not
Brokeback Mountain up in that thing.
Oh, we were about to.
Yeah.
So we tried to go Brokeback Mountain with it. So we had to strap that thing to a snowboard to haul it up. So we're dragging it behind us.
Oh,
we're taking
yeah.
turns hauling that thing
Yeah.
up this incline, this goddamn Stairmaster for 4 hours.
You got a pole handle or something on it?
Not even that. We had a rope around it, right? We had a rope around it
man.
with some carabiners, and we just
Yeah.
strapped it to each person when we took turns, and we counted up like every 2 ski lift pole things we'd switch off. So it was pain in the ass to have to haul that thing up there. But
Fuck, this is like going back to your completely unprepared days. It's
exactly,
like
this is
just ghetto
this
fucking
is
rig.
100% completely unprepared.
Yeah.
So we get up to the top of Palmer ski lift, and it's like 8:30, 9 o'clock by that time. We're like, man, we got to set camp. And I'm looking at the area, and we're like, this is the flat area. It started getting windy as shit. So on the way up,
Yeah.
it was nice. We get to the top, and it starts getting windy as shit, and we're like, well, crap, the weather's coming in. There's supposed to be snow that night. The next morning's supposed to have snow. We're like, shit, we're going to get snowed out. So we need to make sure we set up camp. We set up camp good. We need a spot that's flat. We need a spot that's away from the wind. There's 2 options we could do. We could camp right here on the top of the ski lift where, in the morning we got to get our shit and pack up and go because there's going to be ski lift shit coming up and people trying to go
that's
snowboard
right.
and whatnot.
Fuck.
And I was like, that's not a good idea, man. We got to get above it or we have to be off to the side. So we go up and to the right, and there's like this kind of flat area. We're like, all right, we need to start digging. Take out the snow shovels, start digging. The wind's picking up even more. We're like, fuck, it's cold,
Yeah.
So we're all trying to dig out this spot. We get it relatively flat. We start trying to put up the tent, and that's when the wind picks up even more. Goddamn, it was like 30, 40 miles per hour. The snow drifts are blowing. The ice is hitting your face. You're getting that wind bite. It's just chapping your lips, chapping your face up. You're like, God damn, this sucks.
Yeah.
We're like, throw all the gear inside the tent so it doesn't blow away. So we're trying to.
So you had the tent up at this point?
It was half up. So we're trying to put everything up, and it just keeps fucking blowing over, and the tent's going flat. It's this huge, tall tent. It's like, I don't know, 4.5, 5 feet tall, and it's just blowing over flat every time we try to put the poles in. Can't stake it down because it's in snow. We had
what
snow
kind of tent
stakes.
was it?
I don't even fucking know. Probably a Coleman fucking.
It was a fucking Walmart tent.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, had that thing in the family for like 15 years.
It's one of those ones that costs like $50 and it's ridiculously huge.
Exactly.
Like, how the
Yes, it's a fucking mansion.
No,
So it's the same one we brought up on Mount Adams, but we were fine in Mount Adams because it wasn't windy as shit.
Yeah.
So, with this tent flopping over, we're like, fuck it, we gotta get back down. It's getting dark. We gotta get back down to the ski lift part where there's less wind. So we drag the fucking tent down the side of this
just completely
slope
done up
with all the shit in there and everything. Yeah, we just done it up. We just dragged it down. We started putting it up, got the tent set up at the top of Palmer Ski Lift in the way. So we're like, fuck it, we'll just sleep here. We'll wake up early. We'll grab our shit and we'll find another spot to set camp before we summit. Or before, we're hanging out all day summit the next day. But so we set up camp. We get in there. We're all cozied up, starting to, grab food and whatnot. It took us a while to get our shit set up. It was like 10:30 by this time.
Yeah.
And we're all, I get in my sleeping bag. I'm like, yeah, this is good, man. I'm warmed up now. I'm feeling good. I get the numbness away. I can start feeling my hands and my toes again. And then this huge light shines through the tent and you hear this like machine behind us. We're like, oh, fuck. Snowcat comes up. It's the dudes that work on the mountain that are up there every night, and they go around, they flatten out the snow, and they make it slick for the snowboarders and the skiers for the next day. Dude gets out. He's yelling at us, honking at us. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, you guys can't be here. You got to get off the mountain.
Damn, dude.
I'm like, what do you mean off? What do you mean? He's like, no, you guys can't be in the ski lift area because we got to work here. We just fucking walked up this goddamn mountain.
Good thing you didn't fucking run over you or some shit.
Well, I mean, the tent's big enough you can fucking see it. So we get our shit packed up, and we're like, all right, there's two options. We can go up and try to do this shitty thing again on this upper right side, or we can get the fuck off the mountain and call it quits. And as we're doing this, the stop process, the wind's picking up even more, which I was like, there's no fucking way it's going to get worse than this. Wind, fucking snow, the visibility's starting to go. I was like, fuck it, we're getting our shit packed up and we're going down. Well, the mountain won this one. You know what I mean?
Dude.
It happens every once in a while, so I wasn't mad about it. I was like, we were unprepared.
Did you guys go back completely to back to Olympia, or did you camp anywhere else?
Here's how we did this, okay? We packed up our shit. Dan got on his snowboard and took one of Colby's extra bags. Colby carried the tent in his bag and put some of his shit in his extra bag, so Daniel had to carry two. Yeah. Daniel and Colby start snowboarding down. We use the buddy system, right? Me and Canfield went next. We're like, let's go. We're just going to slide down on our ass. We're going to go Sade. TJ and Will were the last two. TJ was like, I'm not sliding. I was like, are you going to fucking walk the whole way back, man? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
He's like, yep. So he starts walking. I was like, dude, just start walking now because you're going to be the last one down there.
Yeah.
So Will kind of
the visibility still fucking
the visibility was kind of on and off at that point. It was you could see fairly far, and then it would just be like 10 feet. So once we started sliding down, Canfield and I got to certain areas where it was just kind of pulling us to the left. We'd try to slide and it would just go into a soft spot where we'd have to get back up and walk some more. We're trying to follow the ski lift poles all the way down so we don't get lost. You know what I mean? You're sliding down a mountain with it's everything looks the same. There's no trees around until you get to a lower elevation. So we're sliding down, and I get up at one point and I'm like, shit, I can't see 10 feet in front of me. I'm like looking back. You can't see any headlamps or anything. I'm like, where's Canfield at? He catches up to me, and we walk together until we find Daniel and Colby, who were snowboarding, but they were sitting on their ass waiting for us just to make sure we didn't get lost. So we catch up to them, and they're like, where's TJ and Will? I was like, I don't fucking know, man. They're up on the mountain somewhere. So Daniel ended up waiting for Will and TJ when Colby just took off down the mountain.
Yeah.
Colby had the keys to the vehicle because he's the one that drove all of us up there. So Canfield and I were like, all right, let's go. We got to meet Colby down there. So we keep sliding. We get to the point where everything looks the same, and we walk up this what we thought was the same ski lift we were supposed to be following. Yeah. There's this huge drop off. We're like, well, that wasn't the way,
Holy fuck.
So we go around, walk down off to the side. I slip and fall on my ass and slide down some more, which is fine. There's nothing to hit. Yeah. So get up and start walking again. And I ended up in like knee deep snow. I'm like, dude, we cannot be going the right way. I don't remember any part where I was sinking in the snow. Turns out we were walking towards the like the ski jumps because we got closer to them. We saw all these lights. We're like, that's got to be the lodge right there. We're like, get closer and closer. I'm like, nope, those are snowcats working on the jumps. This is not the right way. So we turn around.
At least you're in civilization, sort
yeah,
of.
somewhat. You know what I mean?
Still on
there's people around, but they don't want to fucking help us. We're on their mountain. They're trying to work.
Well, you shouldn't have fucking slept up here.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck are you doing up here?
So we get back to the lodge finally. Canfield and I, we get back to the vehicle, and Colby's sitting in the driver's seat, like taking a nap. I'm like, dang, Colby, how long you been here? He's like, oh, like half an hour. Fuck. I was like, how the fuck did you find your way back, like without being able to see? Because the visibility was so bad, and the wind was just biting at your face. He's like, well, it helps. I've snowboarded this mountain a few times. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I've never been there before.
Yeah.
So we waited probably another 45 minutes, and the last 3 guys start coming down, and we see their headlamps, and we're like, oh, okay, good, they're safe. You know, that's when I was texting you. I was like, these dudes are still on the mountain. I don't know where they are. So they get back to the car, and I'm like, hey, TJ, how's the walk? He's like, man, I ended up sliding. I was like, oh, good. Yeah. You didn't waste your time trying to walk down the goddamn mountain, you know? So we chalked one up to the mountain gods kicking our ass that time, but, you know, shit happens. We are completely unprepared.
Yeah. Got to go back to those roots sometimes.
Well, yeah.
It's like your foundation.
You learn the lessons, you know? I mean, we learned a lot about our gear. We didn't get to use our climbing harnesses that we picked up, but we learned that we need a better tent. That's for damn sure.
You guys brought those ropes.
We brought the ropes.
But you didn't use them.
We didn't use them. We didn't rope up.
You could have carabiner to each other.
We could have. I don't know if that would have been a good idea going down. It would have been fun, but it would have been a bad idea. Yeah. We would have been able to drag TJ. That would have been awesome.
I think I saw him the other day at one of the fucking 7-Eleven or something, and like, because I can never tell. He's like, I can never tell it's him, and I'm like, I see somebody looking at me. Like I saw him at the gym the one day, and he's looking at me. He's like, I was like. I didn't. 30 minutes. He's like, "Hey man, what's up?" I'm like, "Dude, just come up and say hello." I don't know. I've seen you about a million times, but I don't know what you look like. Apparently, it's fucking weird, dude. So, So you guys did Mount Hood, and that was fucking completely unsuccessful.
Yes. We're planning a revenge tour eventually.
Yeah. I mean, you'll probably do better, especially with less snow and shit.
Yep.
What's the optimal season for that?
Man,
was it right now
to
or
climb any mountain? Oh, yeah. I don't think the springtime is any good time to climb a mountain. Honestly, I mean, unless you're experienced enough. We're not, but we do have some experience. You know, we chalk it up to making these mistakes. That's how you learn from them, and you know that gaining the experience is important.
That's one way to go about it. You just like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing, so we're gonna make a shit ton of errors along the way, and then we learn.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you become an expert, right?
Learning curve is just
exactly. There's people that go their first time and they bring all the expert gear, you know, they spend tons of money on it. We kind of take our time slowly accumulating that gear, and find out what we need and what we don't need, what works for cheaper and what doesn't work. You know, and we found out for damn sure that tent works on one mountain but not another mountain. It depends on the weather.
Do they have the snowboard work, or do they have like good sleds that you guys could use?
You know, the snowboards were a good idea on Hood only because it's a big open field. You know what I mean? I don't know how to snowboard. I've never been snowboarding in my life, and I have a knee injury in the past that would probably pop out if I tried to snowboard. But I can slide all day. You know, I just don't trust my knee.
Need a fucking snowboard for your ass.
There you go. Yes.
Maybe that's something we could do. We could just develop a glissading board.
So
fuck, I just
what's funny was Daniel was talking about that on the way down. He's like, I'm gonna create a glissading saddle. Yeah. So you just sit on it and you hold this thing in the middle. Crazy. I was like, you're gonna have this thing like sticking up next to your dick. Hold on to this handle.
Yeah. There's like a little fucking steering stick that comes up through the center.
You can turn it a little bit, like joystick.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Smart.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah.
But I'm telling everybody about plans.
Here's our ideas. Anybody want to take this idea?
I barely tell anybody any ideas until I'm like, yeah, this is
this is not gonna happen. So I'll just tell everybody.
Yeah, I'll just say I either say shit to fuck other people up, and then like, or I just don't care. Like I give away ideas sometimes, but
if you give away all the shit ideas, or you just make up an idea that's completely won't work,
or I'll
see if somebody tries it.
I'll come up with an idea, and it's like I'm never gonna fucking like. I had one for it's kind of like a security thing one time, and I was like, I'll never fucking execute on that.
Yeah.
So like I'll tell people like, you know, that I know can potentially make it happen, because I'm like, that'd be cool to see if that fucking worked out. And like, hey dude, like what about this? And like put it in their brain and
Just
hopefully
blow their mind.
yeah, hopefully hopefully they get something out of it, or they benefit off of it.
Yeah.
And other people do. But yeah, I've done that before, because I'm like, I'm kind of in one, I pigeonholed myself into something, so it's where I got to go with everything.
Yeah.
So like, but you know, I'll give ideas to people. Sometimes I just squirrel away shit in my brain, but it's partly because of my TBI and I can't fucking remember it. But
You need one of those notebooks you just write shit down in, you know?
Well, I got a few.
Yeah. You just
Like,
don't know where they are, right?
I got to remember where they are. Like, yeah. I got so many ideas and I hide them so well, I don't remember. I don't remember what they are. That's how you know it's lock and key. So what trips you guys got coming up this next, I don't know, 3 months?
Next few months,
6
they
months,
got
fucking whatever.
July 20th, I think, is the date for the Adams climb, which we are experienced on this Adams climb. We've climbed that one before. We summited.
Do you need special equipment for that? Like, can anybody come on that, or is it gonna be a private team event?
That one, Dan's leading that one. I probably will not be on that one, only because I couldn't get the time off my day job to be on that one. However, we will be planning some other trips that people can go on. September is the yearly trip. We're going to do the Lake of the Angels. Anybody can go on that one.
That one's that's dope.
that'll be a cool one. I mean, it's a climb. It's a tough hike. I'd rather you not be 300 plus pounds.
Yeah.
But if you are, get into shape and you can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody that's 300 pounds can't do something like that. I'm just saying you got to be in shape to be able to incline 3,000 feet in 2 miles. You know what I mean?
There's that scramble at the end.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
fuck you up.
Yeah. And you can't carry a ton of gear. I mean,
There's
if your
like
pack's
no
heavy,
room. Yeah.
you're screwed.
I'll be on that one for sure.
Nice.
So you brought up the dudes, but I don't think we ever because you got the climb team feed, and you just mentioned, you know, we obviously talked about people, but nobody. Do you want to briefly go over who your team consists of?
Yeah. So our team consists of 4 guys. Or 5 guys. 5 guys total. One of the guys, Canfield, is brand new to the team. So our team consists of Matt, TJ, Daniel, myself, and John Canfield. So that's the 4 of us are the core group. So we have guys that kind of join us along, like Will, Rainier Ranger. He'll join us on climbs, you know, and we'll get dudes like David Stoddart. These guys are just kind of ride or die homies, you know what I mean? They'll come along on all of our trips.
Yeah.
They'll support the team, support the cause, but they're not part of the core group as you know, the founders, basically. Canfield joined us because he's got connections, and we thought he'd be a great asset to the team, you know? So vetted well. You know, we brought him to you. You talked to him a little bit, and
and he seems super motivated and
exactly
into the whole team concept.
He's down with it, you know, blood in, blood out, homie.
Yeah.
This is a
Gangsta.
gang. This is a gang. We don't rape you in though. We just get jumped in.
Yeah.
So, basically, anybody else that comes along is a supporter, you know.
Yeah.
And we bring those guys along anytime we can. You know, eventually we want to get people to climb mountains and be able to coach them along the way. But really, we like to include the people, you know, that are outside the group onto climbs that aren't very technical. Only because we don't want to be held responsible for.
We don't want to be reliable.
Reliable is the wrong word there.
Yeah.
We don't want to be held responsible if they get hurt. You know, it's a safety thing.
Yeah, there's legal issues.
Exactly,
and shit,
exactly. So if we're going to do the Lake of the Angels, or we're doing something in the Olympics that's not technical, doesn't include roping up, then absolutely people can come along, and we'll blast it out on social media. Be like, hey, if you want to join on this trip, let us know. That's what we did for the Mount Eleanor climb when we did it last year. Blast it out on social media, said, hey, if you want to join. We ended up with 12, 13 people that time.
Yeah.
So that was a good trip. So we're looking to get back into that. Really, we've done a lot of climbs with just the team lately. But now that the weather's getting better, we're hoping to open up some stuff like the Ozette Loop, like we did on the coast. That'll be good to get some people on. We're planning some overnighters that don't really have to do with climbing. That'll just be some camping stuff. You know what I mean? We just want to get people outside.
See, that's the cool part. I think having those events that people can join are camping and shit.
Exactly. Something that's not there. You know, it's not going to require too much gear. Stuff that we have extra with.
Yeah.
Extra tents, the tents that fail. on in the wind on the mountain, we can totally use.
Those are great for the beach and shit.
Totally
Yeah.
use down on sea level and not in the wind. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it'll be pretty cool. We're planning a couple of basically overnighters, maybe in the Skokomish Valley this summer. I'm hoping on doing a bushcraft thing. Maybe 2 or 3 of them this summer. Where anybody can go on those, and I'll teach them how to build some shelters and stuff. I have some experience. I'm not certified in any way, but
Yeah.
damn, I could survive in the woods, man. So if you want to get out and learn some bushcraft stuff, I can teach you how to build some shelters and find food and set some traps.
Snap
You know
a
what I mean?
squirrel's neck.
There you go.
Fucking
Swing it around and slam it against a tree.
It's fucking
You're welcome,
spinal
PETA.
fluid out.
PETA.
Yeah. People eating tasty animals.
Ah, my favorite.
Fucking. They like. I think there was a thing that came out. It's like they like was actually like fucking setting those photos up and mutilating animals to make fucking
Yeah.
promotional.
That's what they do, man.
Oh, they're fucking crazy. Sick.
Nuts.
But damn, those horses look fucking delicious.
I mean, I'd try it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big horse steak.
How do horses taste?
I don't know.
It tastes like cow. They're like the same fucking thing.
It's really popular to eat horse in like some European countries, I heard
well,
too.
I mean,
It's just
fucking
like,
everywhere else, but
Oh,
the
yeah.
United States
Not
does
here.
weird shit.
Don't eat a horse. It's such a nice animal.
Yeah.
I mean, they eat kangaroos in Australia. And
Yeah.
Some weird shit, you know. Let me taste that wombat.
Fucking wombat tastes like chicken.
I had kangaroo once. I'm not gonna lie. They had kangaroo like
Did you eat
burgers.
Eat it pouch first?
Tail first, just try to deep throat it.
God,
No, they make them. They sell it at like some meat places.
it's kicking you in the fucking face. This thing wasn't dead when you were trying to eat
Those
it.
things are muscular as fuck. Have you seen those buff ass
Dude,
kangaroos?
yeah, they fucking.
I saw some
flex.
today that
They've
said
got
they
pecs,
like
dude.
flex to show off to their mates or something.
Just like
Hey
we do.
mate, just flexing, you know.
Just fucking. Those things are, and they got nails. And
Yeah,
fucking
man,
teeth
they
and
rip guts open all the time.
They're sick, dude.
They're fighting the rip
Fucking
pouch. That's how the pouch is
Box you
open. They
and
just
kick you with their fucking teeth or their feet, their talons.
kick you with their teeth.
Yeah, they kick you with their fucking teeth on their fucking stupid. Fuck, man. Sometimes I don't think, especially when I'm on that Bang Energy.
Hell, dude, Bang. I want to get
Bang.
sponsored by Bang Energy, guys.
Brought to you by Bang Energy.
This shit will kick you with its teeth.
What were you drinking today? You're drinking pussy ass water?
I was, but you know what? This
Yeah.
is my second purple guava pear Bang today. No lie, I had one this
Ugh,
morning.
I get angry when I have 2, and sometimes I have 3. It's just like
Why am I doing
no
this?
one can even fucking talk to me. There was like the other day I was just so busy and I had fucking 3 of them, and just over the course of the day. And
Different
literally I
flavors
was
or all
like,
the same flavor?
I don't even fucking know. I was like seeing
It all
sounds
just blended
and shit.
together.
Yeah, and I was
That's
like,
what- I was gonna tell you that we gave it. Daniel probably got like, I don't know, 200 people to try Bang out of his unit, and just get
Yeah.
people to try it over time. We got our buddy Cody to try it one time, and he comes back. He texts Daniel. He's like, "Yeah, man, I bought 2 of them. I drank them both, and I can swear I can see sounds right now."
yeah.
I was like, "Man, that's some strong
It's,
shit."
It's essentially like a pre-workout in
Yeah,
a fucking can.
exactly.
But people drink them, and I do too. I drink them like an energy drink, but I'm full of Bang right
Just
now.
fucking
I feel
wired.
fucking weird right now. Like I should be going to run or work out, but I'm
Yeah.
sitting in a fucking chair.
Yeah, you start fidgeting. Man, I
Yeah.
drink them at work, so I walk like 8 to 10 miles at work, just moving around and shit. you know?
Yeah. The other day I was
Squirrel.
Yeah, some chick walking out. The other day I was like amped up and fucking like had I think 3 on board.
Oh man.
Medical term on board. And I came back to the house and I'm just like, people are like, what is wrong with, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm such a fucking dick right now. It's not you, it's the fucking poison in my veins right now. And then I drank Coors later, and I uppers and downers. That's what
Nice,
I gotta fucking
nice.
kill the energy by drinking that, and then talk shit to people on the internet. So, fucking
That shit sells, man.
yeah. But yeah, seriously, it's like I'll go for a while. Like I'll just drink coffee. I'll be like, I'm gonna drink coffee because I don't want to fucking buy a bunch of energy drinks.
Yeah.
And then after a few days or a week, if I've been off of like energy drinks, I'm like good with coffee. That's like coffee amps me up more than anything. But then I'll be like, I'll just get one. I won't be addicted again.
Well, I'm
And
not
it's
gonna
like-
buy one when they're 2 for $3.
Yeah, and it's like it's like taking that fucking hit of heroin again, and I'm just like, I'm getting 10. Like,
Relapse.
fuck, dude? I didn't want to spend all this
You know what
money on
what the big, like the hardest part about it is? They keep coming out with new fucking flavors.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, man, I want to try that. I gotta try this one. I gotta try this one.
And they sell them at fucking Walmart now.
Yeah, everywhere. Every gas station you go in, I see the signs that are like, some of them be like 2 for $4, some will be 2 for $3. I'm like, oh, I gotta find the best deal on my crack.
Yeah, and they have the, I've sent them to you before, but they have like some of the most legit like Instagram fucking stories.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's always like woody girls fucking
Yep.
shaking their ass.
Oh my god, some of those bang models
yeah.
are following me now. I know it's just to get them followers, but I'm like, yeah, these bang models want me, but
Oh,
they
for real?
don't really want me.
Just random Instagram hoes.
Oh yeah, they're doing all their shuffling and whatnot.
Well, you gotta follow your dreams.
But I watch them.
So you'd bang them, and then like you'd
Bang
literally
a bang girl.
have to bang them while you're drinking a bang,
Oh,
and fucking
man.
like just fucking
Wearing
pour
a
it on
bang
top
shirt.
of her. Yeah.
Oh, that's a dream right there. Dude.
Wearing a bang shirt, no pants.
Yeah,
Like Donald
no pants,
Duck that
no.
situation.
Maybe some bang socks too. That'd be kind of funny.
Your business socks, bro.
These are my banging socks.
You have gloves on, like fucking Brad Pitt in Fight Club, and he's like, "You want to finish? Finish this off?"
Oh man.
Fucking weird. Yeah. Shit. Transition. This is the
Transitions,
shit.
man. Changes happen all the time,
See,
bro.
all I had to say was transition.
The
to
word
transition.
transition, change.
Yeah,
so
so-
much change. So change, dude. So going to Warehouse 2.0.
Yeah.
How's that been?
It's been fucking hellish, like pretty shitty.
Well, especially because it came quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like-
in a short amount of time.
I've had the warehouse for, the business has kind of changed over the years to what it is today. Originally a gym, and now we're fucking doing t-shirts.
Yeah.
And there's no gym. It's kind of how business goes. Like you gotta follow what makes the most sense.
Yeah.
There's a few things like that I think personally you have to follow, and it's like, okay, what makes, I'm giving away some business knowledge here, but this is literally some shit. Is like, what is there's like 3 things. What is the makes the most revenue? What makes the most sense? Okay. What are you the best at, or what are you good at? And then
Find your niche.
Yeah, and
basically.
then like, what are you passionate about? Well, I was passionate about doing business
Mm-hmm.
and whatever, and it's not necessarily the money thing. It's like, money's great, and it obviously keeps your business going, because you're not going to do shit if you're not making money and
Yeah.
able to survive. And that's a hobby at that point. You're paying money into it, and it's kind of, if you have all those 3 things, it can, like, if you lose the revenue out of that, it's like, now that's a hobby that you're really passionate about, and you'll do it. So like, if you've got 3 things where you got, you're passionate, you're good at it, and then you have money coming in, then you have a fucking business. And
Yeah,
so
nice.
and where you should be focused is on those 3 things. You just continue to develop.
Mm-hmm.
So over the years, it kind of went that way. Started with a gym, and then, which is kind of like a heartbreaking thing for me, because I put like so much into starting the gym up in
Yeah.
the business, and like, financial stuff and issues over the year, to where I've finally settled, and it took a good amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have challenges with that every day. Bank accounts go up and down. Like,
Yep.
you got a bunch of revenue one day, the other next you don't, and like, it goes in and out. And like, if you look at my bank account, it's like, or like the business account, it's like fucking boom, like all the way up here, and then the next day it's like, psh, and then
Yep.
it just keeps going back and forth. It's like a fucking accordion. And some days it's terrifying, and the other days I'm like, okay, cool, I can drop
We're set,
thousands
yeah.
of dollars on shit, and
Yeah.
blah blah. Continue to progress the business. So. And that's a whole other discussion altogether for anybody that's like, if they have a business and they're worried about their bank account. Your money, if you're doing well and progressing, it will come and go, and it's going to fluctuate all the time, back
Yep.
and forth. And as long as you're making small steps or leaps and bounds or whatever on some days, then just stay motivated, and you'll.
It's when it continuously goes down that's the bad
Yeah.
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. So, people will be like, my success is, everybody's got their own term, idea of success, but, success isn't necessarily what's in your bank account or how well it is, because you'll have those days where it's really well. And you'll have those days where it's shitty because you got a bunch of bills that hit at the same time.
Yep.
But as long as you stay motivated and continue and make smart moves, it's not all about like, I'm okay, I'm set,
Yeah.
you have to some days sit back and fucking, in those slow moments, not just kick back. You got to keep working and
Yep.
fucking move. So,
Hell yeah.
but over the years, and to get back on the change thing, like over the years, it was slow. And some of it was me being stubborn. I didn't want to fucking, admit where I had to make changes, like losing the gym, because it was honestly like I loved the people that I met during it, but it became such a drain on me, like mentally, and it's nothing against any of the people, but there were some days I'm like, man, I don't want to fucking see anybody. And I'm like, when I was trying to be a coach and run the business and start the t-shirt thing and like, move the business where it should be, I was just a fucking nasty dick. And I was like, like I said before, when I was on bag, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I'm just having a fucking bad day. But it was like, there's some people from the gym that, are awesome. And there are some people I met that were just fucking horrible. And they went away pretty quick. But it was just like making that realization of where I needed to go to progress the company and expand. It was a hard fucking thing for me because I felt like for a while, and I still kind of do, you see me move around and do shit. It's like I have way too much on my plate a lot of times. And like I talked to you recently, I was like, Mark, can you fucking help me with some shit? Yeah. And we still have to, get into that.
Yeah, we'll set that up, no problem. Yeah.
But like, it's, you just gotta, I had to fucking make the realization that the gym had to go away. Yep. And as much as I'm like, it's like being a hoarder. I had this fucking sweet gym. You saw it. And I'm just like, fuck, I could sell it and, put the money into Aries. And still it's like, I'm looking at it as people are buying the equipment. I'm like, no,
it's so hard to let go.
Oh, dude. And like today I like put up the final thing. I'm like, all the gym equipment has to go.
Yeah.
Because I have to move everything to the temporary spot.
Yeah.
So that we can eventually, around fall, I think we'll progress into a new bigger space or a space that's the right size for what we're doing at this certain time. Mm-hmm. Mostly what I want to do is I'm tired of fucking dealing with like renting and just the fucking stuff that comes with it. So hopefully in the next year I can buy a space and whatever.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Just buy a piece of land and put a fucking warehouse on it.
One of those big,
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Because you can build one of those fucking spaces that we had for a while. Like they don't cost much. Like
those shelters
20 to 30,000,
awesome. And they just like, have a concrete slab poured and you're good to go.
and so like I'm like in the warehouse the past few days, like just closing it down, and I'm just like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah,
like
memories, man.
And it's not like we're not Aries isn't done. It's just like just going into the temporary space is not ideal for me, but we have to do it, and it's just like my son was born and he has always been running around a gym.
Yeah.
And that's how he learned to lift weights. He was just like I think it was like 2, he's picking up little, the little tiny medicine balls or like, little rubber dumbbells that he can lift, and he's just running around with weights, not knowing what he's doing. But it's like that stuff. It's like, he's kind of, I can tell he's not like overly upset about it, but he's like, oh, we won't have a gym anymore and, whatever. So,
but here's the thing about that. He will. Because you're going to get that small space. Even if you get a smaller space, if you get a bigger space, you're going to put some kind of gym in there. You will, just because that's what you like,
Yeah. So it'll be, I think when we actually like move into like the final space, it'll be upgraded. Like,
for
and
sure.
that's the whole idea is like, sometimes you gotta fucking like pull back, take a knee and work where you're at.
Yeah.
Like work on your company, get everything settled, and like, cause there's so much stuff with the company that it's not all over the place, but it's like, okay, I need to focus now.
Yeah.
Because we've, collectively the teams and everybody, it's great, but sometimes it's overwhelming because
taxing,
so much
it's
shit,
taxing for
so
sure.
much shit is coming out because of, the initial idea. And then like you guys and fucking the dive teams now on board, they got 8 fucking dudes in it. Like, they only got 3 in the main thing that we,
but they got the dudes that come along.
Yeah, so they got the 3 main dudes, and then they've got fucking 8 total.
Nice.
I was like, hey, send me your fucking sizes, expecting to see like 4 fucking names. And they're like, yeah, we got 8. I'm like, I was like,
shit,
what? Like, yeah, we've got some dope shit coming out, dude. Like,
nice, good.
I can't wait to see their stuff because it's like they actually have like a solid plan and whatever. So I'm gonna run into the team leader next week when I go down to Arizona, and but yeah, dude. So like the changes thing, it's like it sucks, but like I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just like sometimes there's parts in your, just like anything, there's parts of your life that you're not necessarily ready to, but if you if you know what you have to do, and it's like it's the right thing, even though it fucking like relationships, fucking business, anything.
Yep.
If it makes total sense, it's gonna fucking suck, but you gotta fucking do it. You know, to progress.
As
everything.
I was telling you like this before, when I got out of my apartment back in the day, when I was transitioning to buy a place, I wanted to end my lease. I didn't want to rent for another 3 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm buying a place. I need to get out of where I am now. I got my place broken into, my car vandalized. It was just I was in a shitty neighborhood. I was like, fuck it, I'm gone.
What
Tanglewild, right down the street.
Yeah.
So off of Third Way, it was pretty crappy, I got out of there and I moved all my stuff over to my grandmother's house, right? And I had a carport and I parked my truck in there, an old beater truck. I didn't have a nice car. My car was total at the time. So I had a truck, I had a couch, and I had a desk. And I put up this desk, put my couch in front of it, put a TV on it, had an Xbox hooked up, and I lived in that carport for 3 months, man. Lived in that carport, and I was like, this is the shittiest existence. That I feel like I'm homeless.
Makes you appreciate.
It does. It does. I had a house right next door, which is more than a lot of people. I mean, not a lot of people, but it's more than some people have. So I could go in and take showers and whatnot. But I lived in that carport, slept in there at night, went to work, came back, lived in the carport again, and this was all before my daughter was born. So thank God.
Yeah.
But it was.
She would have felt like you're camping as well.
Oh God, she probably wouldn't have known what's going on. But
yeah.
It was an eye opener because I regressed from being in an apartment since I was 17 to going back and not having something, and it made me appreciate what I have now, but it also helped me progress to where I am now.
Yeah.
And it keeps me from regressing again. So, taking those steps back and taking the knee, like you're saying, it lets you not only progress, but it lets you appreciate your progression.
Yeah.
And know what steps to take to avoid that from happening again too.
Yeah.
So it was really good.
So anyway, like the overall goal right now is hit the microphone and then
punch it in the face.
Yeah.
Kick it with my teeth.
Fuck, man. Joe Rogan has like some legit. He actually like people are very closed about what they do because they don't want anybody to have a leg up or whatever. But Joe Rogan, I was looking at some of his stuff, and he actually like puts out the list of all of his equipment. And I'm like, that's fucking dope.
He's got
sweet. Like, these aren't bad, but like you can get his. He lists all his equipment. It's like
nice.
Podcast shit is not expensive.
Yeah,
I think people go over the top with like some of their stuff. Like,
of course,
put up fucking foam peanuts and shit everywhere.
Especially the guys that have the cameras on them all the time.
Yeah, dude, you got to make it look nice.
I want to look cool so people are distracted by the things behind me.
I mean, eventually maybe we could do that, but I fuck up too much on this podcast, especially like if I was going to do an intro and videotape that, fuck that. I have to cut up that thing so fucking much. So anyway, so the how did I get on this? So, people ask me what the plan is. 'Cause like, there's some people I tell about like, that we're going to, consolidate everything. We're pushing out the gym and all the big extra shit that we have we're going into the temporary space. And so that over the next year we can, I can figure out exactly what I want to do and what kind of building I want and what we're going to be doing with the teams, because I'm not saying we're doing bad. We're doing better than we ever have, but I need to fucking consolidate everything and get everything under control, because it's not out of control, but we just need to fucking manage it better and set up the right people in the right positions and, have everything set up so that maybe in 2019, we're completely like fucking, lubricated machine, because even the best machines get rusty and shit.
Damn right they do, yeah.
So that's kind of like what I'm experiencing is I need to manage stuff better and have more fucking
do an oil
control
change.
over it. Yeah. And so it's either going to be, we'll be in a new space here in Washington where I buy land, but most likely we're going to be moving to the east. And I'm not going to say exactly where it is, but it looks like Tennessee. I mean, it rhymes with Hennessy, Tennessee, whatever. No, I'm going to go visit Tennessee and see what that's about, because it's great for business and all that stuff. And it doesn't mean that like you guys won't be doing your team stuff. We're going to continue to fucking do the teams, because I manage all that, like essentially like I do the infrastructure and framework for the teams. And so like there's dudes out in the East Coast, like in fucking Europe and shit. So
why couldn't we still be over here?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Still you're doing your own thing.
Yep.
Just maybe do a podcast or two over a fucking phone or whatever, if I still do it. 'Cause you gotta always have guests. They
Yep.
don't tell you about this about the podcast. You got to always
Yeah,
have
line them up.
Yeah, because like I did a podcast myself, and I'm just like sitting there answering
Just
questions.
talking.
So I got to figure that out. It's like, yeah, I'm not really that like me personally. I'm maybe not too interesting to hear me talk about it. Plus, the questions I get, people that know a little bit about me, they're like, "What was it like to be in this?" And I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk about myself. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather talk about like fucking interesting shit. Like, like. I guess I'm an interesting person, but I don't want to talk about myself all the time.
I mean, everybody's an interesting person.
Yeah, we're all interesting.
But nobody likes to talk about themselves all the time.
Yeah.
If they do, they're a bunch of assholes.
Fucking
so.
a bunch of them. Fucking bunch of assholes. So anyway, so part of the thing, so people don't understand this about the company is it's not a on paper nonprofit, but I try to treat it as such. So
Yeah.
like I spend so much fucking money on the company as well as team guys. So like this last quarter, you guys are the only people that I said like to all the teams like, hey, I need people to like tell me they want gear.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sitting on fucking $5,000 to throw down a hole. And so no, you guys were like, oh, it ropes. I'm like, those
Yeah.
cost about $60. Like, give me something better.
Yeah.
And then it was like the last day, and I'm like, I couldn't get fucking anybody to say what they
Yep.
needed. Because generally we don't like I skydive. So like, what does that mean? Okay, I'll spend $225 to get my Cypress inspected.
Yep.
And that's good. Turn in my parachute, get it repacked. Like, I don't really need stuff for it because I already have it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to drop stuff on a new canopy. I like my parachute. It has given me challenges in the past, but like I'll eventually get over that. But so like when I have all this money, because I'm not going to go out and say like I've got all this money to spend. Like I'm like, just tell me what you need, because I'll get team guys stuff unless they're like, I need a whole scuba setup.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that because
Yeah.
I need to buy shit for the company to
Yeah,
make
exactly.
us better. But yeah, so like I had like $5,000 fucking sitting there, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm buying drones and fucking camera shit and like
Yeah,
all
there
this
you go.
stuff. It's still cool, but like I'm glad I did it, and then did the commercial pilot
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah, that's
and,
dope. It's gonna be an asset for sure.
Yeah.
In the future.
After this, I'll show you one of the videos I just filmed. It's fucking,
Nice.
I'm actually gonna do. I don't want to. I'm gonna surprise you guys because it's gonna be I'm not gonna put it on the main story. It's gonna be kind of a joke, but I'm gonna do a fucking promo video for you guys.
Nice.
I was
Do
gonna
it.
do it last night, but I got so tired. I was doing the intro and editing because I usually edit the podcast like the night before, which is fucking stupid. I should be better prepared for it, but I've been doing
Completely unprepared, bro.
Yeah, so basically I save the file into our fucking share drive, and then it sits there, and I'm like, I gotta fucking edit because
Oh
got
yeah.
all this other shit to do. So
Nice.
anyway, so to go back on it, like I try to buy team gear for each of the teams once a quarter, and so like now like you guys are like everybody's kind of getting into the team mode since we have a team meeting, and it's like you got ropes, and so you guys have a ton of shitty equipment too.
Yeah. Yep.
That you have.
So
that
we're
we
gonna
need to
transition
maybe-
out of the shitty equipment.
Transitions. So what kind of shitty gear do you guys have? What would you tell people to stay away from? Or what is a piece of shitty gear that's like, so this might be a best question, but like what is a piece of shitty, cheap gear that you have that is actually the best fucking thing you ever had, if anything?
Man. One thing you can't go shitty on is boots. You got to have good boots. So
Can't buy those Walmart boots?
Don't go get some fucking Walmart boots, and make sure you got some ankle support. We had an event one time where one of our close buddies rolled his ankle because he didn't have ankle support, and that's bad, you know.
So wearing tennis shoes or something?
No, he's wearing boots, but they
Yeah.
weren't.
Low quarters or something?
Yeah, they were just lows, you know, just something you need ankle support when you're going in the woods for sure. One thing that I always, food is a big one. Food, people go out and they spend tons of money on this freeze dried food. You know what I go to Walmart and I get those little single things of like freeze dried potatoes that are like a buck each.
Oh, dude,
you know
those
what I
are
mean?
good.
And loaded mashed potato, and you're like, this will fill me up, dude. And it's light and it
Full
tastes
of-
delicious.
It's fucking made with
Full
styrofoam.
of salt.
That's
and
why.
just, it's so good, man. But you don't need to spend a ton of money on it. So
It's got all the essential, fucking electrolytes and shit. It's like Brondo.
yeah, Brondo.
But that, I mean, you could drink them, but it's not really the same. But anyway, horrible joke.
Idiocracy is becoming reality, man. That's the truth.
yeah. So back, I know you started talking about food for whatever reason, but
Yeah. Gear.
shitty gear.
Shitty gear. So we have this huge 8-person or 6-person, 8-person tent. Eight people if it's people my size. 6 people if it's people Dan's size. Coleman tent, it's a family camping tent. It's not a 4-season tent.
A piece of shit.
It's a piece of shit. Blows over in the wind. So you guys heard about that. But get a good tent, 4-season tent. Doesn't matter if you have a 4-season tent in the summertime. You know what I mean? It's gonna work. If you have a 4-season tent in the winter, it's gonna work. If you have a 1-season tent or 2-season tent in the summertime, it might work. In the wintertime, it ain't gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to have something that's good for the climate that you're in,
Yep.
especially up here in the Northwest. That's for sure.
The thing I hate about fucking tents is the condensation when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
You always get fucking soaked.
What's funny about that is if it's not vented properly, people think they're leaking,
Yeah,
and then they'll go to like REI and return their shit, and then you can buy them for cheaper because
on
these
those
people are
garage
like,
sales.
yeah, they are REI garage sales because they're like, oh, I returned this tent, it's leaking, it was wet. I'm like, okay, that's called condensation. It's science.
Yeah.
That shit happens. So same thing with my bivy. The first time I used it, I was like, oh, this thing's a piece of junk, and then I kind of thought about it. I was like, I didn't vent it properly because it's got this flap that goes over where your face is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's a plastic cover. I'm like, all right, so if I open this thing up, I'll be able to breathe a little bit better, and it won't be as all soaked as hell inside.
We went when the Eleanor trip that we went on that I showed up on.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I had this. I bivvied it. I
Yep.
dug into the fucking snowbank and like. I don't know if I told you this. I was losing my fucking mind.
It's
All that.
claustrophobic, right?
I wasn't gonna bail out. Like I was like,
Yeah.
I'm staying here. But the fucking sleeping bag was so fucking tight. It wasn't I was fine with the bivvy because
Yeah.
the bivvy's kind of big. If you saw it, like I had enough space.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
But the sleeping bag was squeezing my
Oh, man.
This is one I had in the military. I bring it on like. I don't know if I brought this specific one, but it was like a fucking small person sleeping bag, and my legs were smushed together, and I couldn't because I roll when I sleep. I don't
Yeah.
sleep on one side. I just kind of fucking roll.
Yeah, you move around. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I was losing my fucking shit, and I was like, like it felt like I was fucking like someone was squeezing me. Like I'm not claustrophobic either. Like it wasn't the bivvy, and I like had the flap open and shit. It wasn't condensation or anything, but I was
You
like,
just couldn't move your body a little
this!
bit,
And,
yeah.
like, and I gotta admit when Jacob because I finally went to sleep. Like
Yeah.
it was like fucking I think it was 3 a.m. by the time, and I was like. I got out of the sleeping bag one time and I was like, fuck this is fucking bullshit. Stood outside and it was raining, and then I was like, fuck this. So I got back in and I tried to like open the sleeping bag, but it just wasn't working, and like it was like
That's funny.
yeah. And so, when he fucking woke up with the leak, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God.
Somebody
Get me
else
the
is as
fuck
miserable
outta
as
here.
I am.
Yeah.
That's when Jacob came over to my tent, and he's just like, hey, you awake?
Yeah.
Like, well, now I am, but yeah,
Yeah,
what's up,
dude.
man? It's funny because my tent was fine. And you know what's funny? I have one of those Coleman tents.
Yeah.
I mean, it cost me $100, so but it's one of those.
It's not an 8-person
It's
one.
one of those 4-season tents that'll
Yeah.
work in the rain and the snow and all that shit. So
How big is it? With a backpack?
it's a
one?
2-person tent. It was,
Okay,
it was
so
good.
it's
So
kinda
it's
small.
It's called a backpacking tent,
Yeah.
but it was small enough for 2 people.
Yeah.
It was good though. I could fit my gear in there and me, and it was fine.
Hey, you were tired
Stay
too. You
dry.
had stayed up for like 3 days.
Oh,
for
dude!
that.
Every time we end up going like on a Saturday climb or hike or something, I'm working on that Saturday. So I, for the people listening, I work nights. So I get up at 1 a.m, go to work. Sometimes on a Saturday, I'll get off by 10 o'clock, and then we'll go climb a mountain or something. So it's I'll be out there half zombie, just trying to climb
Yeah.
some shits.
And no one believes it because you don't even look like you're
Yeah.
exhausted. If I did that, like, because I'll do this sometimes. Like sometimes I'll stay up for fucking 2 days, and I'm just like, people see me, they're like, "Holy fuck!"
Yeah.
Like I look like crazy, but you look fine. You're just like, "Yeah, let's do this."
Yeah,
And you stayed up the whole fucking day after that.
Basically, yeah.
sliding down hills and shit.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Probably won't be able to do that the rest of my life, but god damn it, I'll do it as long as I can.
So what kind of like what has what is with that shitty gear and like crappy gear, what has it made you appreciate, or what kind of experience does that stuff give you as far as like applying it to your climbing now or hiking or camping or whatever? Like how has that made you better at the being on the climb team? And
So the experiences of having the shitty gear,
yeah
it has opened up a lot of situations to where we learn, the new things. We essentially become experts at our craft,
Yeah.
by obtaining shitty gear, transitioning it to better gear, gaining the knowledge, even in some cases turning that shitty gear into better gear.
Yeah.
Just making it work for what we do.
You guys are doing some. So there's a lot of people, especially in the Pacific Northwest. You got like people that read about this shit. They watch online.
Yep.
They're fucking loaded, so they go and buy the
ton
best
of money
equipment.
on the
But
best
you guys are
gear.
doing it like learning through all of this crap gear.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
to be better at this kind of stuff
And
and,
you le-
be
and you learn to-
experts in whatever, like
Exactly.
in your specific,
And you learn to appreciate it better too. So I mean, you get these people that they'll read up a ton on some trail books or something, and we'll go out there and we'll just try a trail. These people, they'll search for a trail for 3 months. Oh, what's the best hikes to go on? Oh, let me read this book, The 10 Best Hikes in the Pacific Northwest. I'll read this other book, Edible Berries to Eat in the Pacific Northwest.
They'll fucking die by you.
Yeah. So what we do is we look up a spot or a trail online, and we're like, fuck it, let's try that one. That one looks cool, and we'll just go out and try it.
There's no particular planning.
No
on
particular planning on thinking ahead on that in that regard. I mean, other than the TIF and we plan for the medical and plan for what could go bad.
That. Yeah.
But our route, we'll just throw it in there and just wing it. That's how we found Lake of the Angels. Daniel went up. Daniel failed twice on that one until they finally made it the third time.
Yeah.
Once he did, he's golden. He can get up there any day, and
It's like that last
take it,
section is so easy to fucking miss.
yeah, exactly.
Saw a bunch of people like, oh, where the fuck is the...
and that is something I consider myself like an expert on now. You learn the trails by failing on the trails sometimes.
Yeah.
So, for example, this last climb that we did on Mount Hood, we failed. Yeah, we failed. We didn't make it to the top, guys. It sucked. But
I was talking shit to you guys.
But I
even though
guarantee
I'm not out there.
But I guarantee you, we are going to hit the summit of that mountain.
Yeah.
The next time we go.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. That's that determination is built and creates an expert out of us because we failed on it. It's not necessarily failures that break people. Failures make people too.
Yeah.
So I argue with a lot of people about the climbs that I go on. Sometimes people are like, "Are you gonna go out? That's so dangerous. That's so dumb. What are you doing?" Yeah, I went down the river on an inflatable sea turtle before. Oh, you're an idiot. You can get killed. I'm like, yeah, but I had a hell of a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
I may not be the smartest guy. I may not be an expert in that, but an expert in the way of safety or anything. But I'll tell you what, I'm the expert in going down the goddamn river on the back of that inflatable sea turtle.
Oh, they haven't done it. They haven't done it.
Exactly. So
I'm
when
wondering
it
if
comes
this sea turtle is going to make it every time we bring
dude,
you on.
it is. And you know what?
We'll
We're going to
piece
eventually
it in here. This will be
the
a thing.
next time we climb something that's relatively small that we can still glissade on. I'm going to bring that fucking sea turtle and slide down that mountain on the back of that sea turtle.
That's what it's useful for.
That's what it's useful for. Thank you for the idea that just popped into my brain.
Yeah.
So
you can keep that one. See, I told you about that earlier.
But yeah, man, it's experience that makes you an expert. So by gaining all this knowledge over time and failing in some cases and making it in the cases like Mount Adams and stuff, we're going to become experts in that field. And you know what? Building this whole team mentality and having the experience and having the opportunity to do it has made us an expert in having fun when we're doing this shit. So that's what means a lot to me in that regard.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So you guys got some cool shit coming up. If you guys are out there and want in the Pacific Northwest and want to join in on the climb team stuff, we're gonna probably set up the main website to have a better idea, because that's one of the things people have brought up to me. They're like, "Hey, I want to do all these events that you guys have, or the climb team has, but I don't know where to look." And I'm just like, "Hey, contact the fucking climb team."
Yeah.
I'm not. People don't know that, but sometimes I'm like, I'm not on that team. Go talk to them. They are awesome. Especially Mark. And Dan. No, Dan's awesome. But you can fucking bang into the microphone.
Banging into the microphone.
But yeah, I want to have a better idea. I want to redo the website so that there's a better idea about what everybody's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have our own internal communications thing where we know what everybody's doing. But there's people that want to do these events that are coming into the Pacific Northwest area because they're
We
from
got to be
here
well
or whatever.
organized for it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just like I think one of the things I could be better about is like making it clear to the public for what you guys are doing.
Yep.
Because really, that's what I should be doing is making it clear.
You could utilize
So-
the email more, like the
Yeah,
ariesclimbteam@gmail.com.
Yeah,
Ask us
So-
any question you want.
yeah. The fucking email. That's way better way to get your information out because Mark Zuckerberg wants to fucking crush everybody.
Yeah. Huh.
Dude. Can't stop my email for right now. Hopefully Google isn't bought by fucking Facebook. But yeah, so we'll be better about like getting the team information out, especially the climb team because you guys do the most with the public.
Yeah.
And so that I think we could do a thing where like, you know, it's more transparent about like how to sign up for it, like a more fluid way of getting people's information to you guys so that you can do your planning process around having people from the local community.
Oh, definitely.
So we gotta work on
if
that.
somebody, if we got like a sponsored couple people coming up or something in the future, if we plan that and we know they're going to be up in 2 months, we'll have something planned ahead of time. So we're ready to go.
And we were talking about this earlier, but it's a good time to bring it up since you're here. Because I don't know when the next time we'll have you on, but we're probably going to, this is kind of like a new thing we're talking about is like doing a trip in the local area or somewhere like Montana or some bordering state that has awesome fucking hiking, camping, fishing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to sponsor 1 or 2 veterans a year, and we're going to pay for the full trip for them to come up. So I think the first one will be from the local area just to prove that we can do it.
Dope. Yeah.
And then from there on out, we're going to like pay for people to either fly or whatever. Whoever wins the trip, there are going to be 2 people that are sponsored, either the most involved with you guys, which I think would be fitting because like if you're not fucking interacting with the climb team, I mean, it'll be your first interaction with them is out on a trip. Like, you know, gotta
it'd have to be somebody that knows what kind of people we are for sure. They don't want to be thrown off by our weirdness. So.
Yeah. And you got to kind of be vetted so you're not showing up with fucking strapped and want to kill people.
You want to murder the whole climb team. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we're doing for the future notice for people is like we're going to sponsor a couple people to go on trips, all paid, to go fucking hang out with the climb team. And where can you find the climb team at?
At Aries Climb Team on Instagram or at I think we have a Facebook. Shit, I don't even know the Facebook.
Fuck, dude.
Fuck Facebook. Stick to the Instagram. But you can contact us, ariesclimbteam@gmail.com. So if you have any questions, you can hit us up there. You can check out my Instagram at American Mark. Ask me any questions about the climb team. But, you know, that's my personal one. But, I mean, if you have any questions, I'm there for you guys.
Who's mostly managing your Instagram?
It's between myself and Dan. I'm
Nobody else. It's just you two.
I post most of the time.
Yeah.
But Daniel can answer a lot of questions that we have or that people have. He's pretty good about getting on there and answering questions.
Cool.
So it's good.
Cool, man. All right. Well, it was good to have you on again, and we're going to do it again.
Hell
and
yeah.
Again
And
and
again
fucking
and
again until you're sick of it.
I won't get sick of it. I like hearing myself talk.
Yeah. I like hearing yourself talk too. We're out of here.
Laters.